I do kind of think it's the it's the biggest example of the woke sports era. It's Brittney Griner. Brittney Griner is a 6'8" lesbian woman, tatted up from head to toe, that plays in the WNBA. She traveled to Russia and tried to sneak a little hashish, weed of some sort, through customs in Russia and got arrested. And they locked her up, allegedly, and I say that seriously because this story is so preposterous, it's hard for me to fully believe. But they locked her up for several months in Russia for her irresponsible behavior. And the woke sports mind virus was so strong that the President of the United States, Joe Biden, and his administration prioritized getting a 6'8" lesbian out of prison over getting Paul Whelan and servicemen and others, Americans, military people, journalists. We prioritized Brittney Griner, a basketball player, tatted head to toe, lesbian who did something completely irresponsible. She's in a foreign country. We had to get her home before people, and keep in mind, Brittney Griner is one of these kneelers, no respect for the national anthem. She's on record with all of this. But we traded the merchant of death, a gun dealer, a terrorist who works on behalf of the Russian government. We traded him for Brittney Griner. Can it get any woker than that? That this black lesbian basketball player, we surrender and set free an arms dealer, a terrorist, man with the nickname, the Merchant of Death, so that Brittney Griner could come back here and play basketball. Unbelievable. There's nothing woker than that. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my lifetime. It's the worst trade in the history of American sports. This woman had spent years denigrating the United States of America, being ungrateful for her citizenship, and the moment she does something stupid and gets locked up overseas, now all of a sudden she's found her patriotism. And now all of a sudden, because our priorities are so out of whack, and Vladimir Putin knows it, that we're dumb enough to trade the merchant of death. I sit here and I think about this, and it's like, remember Trump's a Russian agent. Trump's a Russian agent. Why wouldn't we argue? Why wouldn't we be suspicious of, is Brittney Griner a Russian agent? Let's be honest. The insurance model is broken. Crowd Health puts your health care back in your hands. Use the promo code FEARLESS at joincrowdhealth.com. That's joincrowdhealth.com, promo code FEARLESS. Was she part of a plot that Russia executed to get the Merchant of Death free? That's how woke sports had gotten. That's how stupid America was. That we allowed someone who had expressed animus towards America to be a tool to get a Russian asset terrorist out of prison. Trump's the Russian agent? Why wouldn't we think Brittney Griner is the Russian agent? Why wouldn't we think Joe Biden is the Russian agent? We traded a dumb jock for a terrorist. When Steve comes on, we'll try to rank these or try to figure out what's this right here, Brittney Griner, has to take the cake. It's an unbelievable story. If you put it in a movie, no one would believe it. Oh, this is a Disney movie. This is make-believe. No one would trade a basketball player for the merchant of death. No one would trade someone who hates America for the merchant of death. We did that. What's the worst of all those, in your view?
I'm not real schooled on I think the woke era.
No. Of the examples of the woke, yeah.
I think the Olympics just was a time where none of that needed to be involved at all.
You're probably right. What's number two, man?
What do you think's number two?
Brittney Griner.
What's your number? What is your number one? The Olympics. Well, the Brittney thing to me, have you seen how much she's changed since all of that? I mean,
how much she's pretended to change.
It seems to be, yeah.
Yeah, how much she's pretended to change, I have, but I just can't think of anything dumber than what we did for Brittney Griner. She doesn't like America. America bent over backwards for her. I honestly think she may be a Russian agent, and I say that in all seriousness. That Putin couldn't have come up with a better scam. Hey, let's find a lesbian woman to lock up with a little bit of profile, and we'll spring the merchant of death with her. Brittney Griner cooperated, in my view. Help us grow the Fearless Army. Pound that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with all your fearless friends.